And we can sometimes get perhaps a little bit lost with the contemporary modifications or other things we do in class. So I'd like to bring you back to this being the Pilates classical repertoire for 34 exercises. We probably won't get through all 34, but as always, we'll give it our best shot. And for that reason, I will just start us off. Let's get going. ASAP. Hands down by your sides, feet in parallel, and just take our moment to just breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth as you find your focus for this next hour of Pilates. Alrighty. So breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Nice, easy work. Breathing into the nose, lovely, into this upper thoracic area. So finding the rib cage response, finding the lungs, or imagine them filling like balloons as you breathe in. Also that sense of growing through the crown of the head. So lifting yourself, maybe the first stretch this morning as you breathe in and grow through the spine. As you exhale, go ahead and start to wake up these core muscles. So as the air leaves the body, drawing in around your midline, shrink wrapping these organs and finding that little drawbridge underneath the pelvis there. As you exhale, think of that lovely pelvic floor area being a focus on the wind and water passages and drawing those guys up as you exhale. Alrighty, so lovely breath in, one or two more, trying to bring it all in together. And exhaling. Lovely, breathing in. And exhale, zipping and hollowing. Gorgeous. And opening your eyes and bring yourselves back into the room. Okay, so first things first, we're going to turn our palms to the back of the room. Alrighty, so you've got your fingertips to the floor, but the palms are facing backwards. Now we're going to think about just a slight modification for the 100, all right? We're going to do a standing 100. Just go ahead and lift for me your left heel and onto the left tiptoe if you can. So this might be enough for you if balance is an issue. So what we're going to do is just pause here and start pumping our arms as you would the 100. Okay, so of course they can just flap around by the sides. However, I want you to think with some intent, you're lengthening the arms and you're pressing those arms behind you, feeling the arms super long. Okay, so you've got this left knee just gently bent. Now you might just want to go with a small toe touch as you exhale. Perhaps as you exhale, you can really think about lifting the knee up towards the ceiling. Now, of course, the breath's different in the 100. You're going to be breathing in for 5 pumps and breathing out for 5 pumps. So let's start with practicing that. So it's in, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 5. In, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3. As you start, now this next exhale with the out, let's go ahead and find your end of range with the knee raise. So you're breathing in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out as you lift the knee. Thinking about that tummy pulling in as you lift the knee, or you just toe hover, breathing in, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, pausing everything here. Just pausing and settling. So we're heading onto the other side, lifting the right heel, perhaps onto toe touch. Start the arms pumping by your side, shoulder blades back and down. And when you're ready, coordinate the breath in, 2, 3, 4, 5. As you let the air leave the body, lifting the knee towards your maximum range. Exhaling as you lift. Exhale, pull up the pelvic floors, draw the belly button in, breathing in, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, and last one, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gorgeous, releasing that leg back down on the floor. You're still in parallel, hands down by your sides. Just turn the palms back to face the inside, also the thighs, outside of your thighs. Bring the belly to spine, soften the knees slightly. Tuck your chin into your throat space, start your first roll down. Okay, so we're emulating here the roll over, okay, which is sometimes a bit too much for folks to start off with. So just hanging out here for a moment and then roll yourself back up. The knees are bent and soft at the moment, drawing yourself into standing. Well done. Double arm float for me. Bring your arms towards the sky, keeping the rib cage pulled down. Turn the palms forward. We're going to now imagine ourselves diving forwards. Okay, so think of the lift with the crown of the head and diving forwards over this belly button space. Let the space feel, or let the spine feel spacious, and the legs can be straight now if you want, or you can bend them, or you can get to your maximum range and then have a bend if that feels better. And let the head go again one more time. Just let that head relax. And then when you're ready, you're going to bring that belly to spine, tummy button in, and gently pull yourself up from the base of the spine, mid-spine into standing position. One more time, double arm float. Turn the palms forward. Lift through the crown of the head. Breathe in. Dive up and over that belly space. Belly button having lovely room, having some space as you head down to your roll down. Legs are straight perhaps this time if you didn't last time, or maybe just gently softening the knees. And then when you're ready, we're restacking again. You can either straighten those legs or you can come back up with your knees soft and draw yourself into standing. Okay, so that's our modifications for the 100 and the roll up. Okay, we're going to take ourselves onto the mat. So if you want to do the Pilates technique, you've got one hand over your elbow. We're facing down the length of the mat towards the end of the mat, taking one leg behind. And we're going to get these knees to head out to the sides, almost like a scissor lift as they control the center, your torso down onto the mat, and you're into sitting. Well done. Okay, bringing yourself down onto the floor, we're going to single leg circle. Okay, so last week we had our arms out towards our sides. We were trying to eliminate some of that support. This week I'm going to get those hands by your sides one more time, so like little bookends by your hips. Take your right leg towards the ceiling and either walking your left foot slightly further away so the knees out the way, or reach your left leg along the mat. We're going to single leg circle. So when you're ready, breathing in, imagining a belly button a foot pressing down the belly button. Let's go with our single leg circles. Nice and steady. If you know you have a confident hip, perhaps you can take it into slightly larger circle to begin with. Otherwise, just being careful. We've got these hands supporting the hips. We can perhaps make the circle a little bit faster than last week when we were in hover, and switching directions. Okay, we're going to go for 5 circles in the other way. And 4. And 3. Make your challenge this week, as I say, your range of movement and the control. And then gently bring that leg back to center. Press that leg back down onto the mat, lifting your other leg towards the ceiling, left leg up, tailbone down. Again, you can now walk that right foot slightly further away from you, or indeed extend it along the mat. When you're ready, again, shoulder blades back and down, big footprint on that belly, and off we go. Around for 5 circles, crossing the midline, down to the end, out, and to the start. Well done. Gorgeous. Nice, well done. And this is our last one, taking it to reverse direction. So out and down to the side and up. Well done. Nice. Mobilizing in that hip joint nicely to start us off. And then last one, bringing that leg to center. Okay, just draw that knee into your chest. So we're going to just hold behind the knee, lift your head, nose towards the knee. We're going to lift the long leg and bring ourselves into sitting. If that is not for you, you can just roll your knees to the side and draw yourself into sitting. We're at the front edge of the mat. We're going to rattle through these a little bit, guys. Okay, so you're going to take yourself into a hold around the outside of your legs. Just gently hold. And we're going to think about that lower spine, releasing down towards the floor, knees staying close to your chest as much as you can. And then bring yourself back into hover with a breath in. Remember, your nose is nicely connected or close to the knees as much as you can. And it's still trying to think about that lovely spine opening towards the back of you. Okay, so you really are just effectively getting a back massage as you roll back. Okay, coming into hover with control. Last 2. Final one, breath in on the way back, of course, and then pausing at the front this next time. Well done. Okay, fantastic. Releasing yourself back down onto the mat. Okay, so let's give ourselves a little bit of a massage. Okay, back down onto the mat. Go ahead and find that neutral spine if you can for me. So imagine a little Malteser below the lower back. Extend your right leg out along the mat and bring your left knee into your chest. Draw your nose towards your knee. Now you're in neutral spine, so you won't get a huge lift, okay? So you're still feeling there's a little bit of a space if you can. Go ahead and elevate your straight leg so you're out towards the end of the mat. Yeah. Okay, so checking the pelvis, all right? You're trying to think about still keeping it in neutral if you can, not dumping down to the lower spine, all right? When you're ready, we're going to breathe in and bring the right knee into your chest. Now, if you really struggle with neutral, I don't mind if you think about popping that little Malteser and squash the Malteser slightly. That is okay. However, we're going to try and do this in neutral if we can. We're bringing one knee into the chest and we're gently sending the other one away into single leg stretch. I'm going to try and give you the names of all these this morning. Again, it's one of those ones of just trying to get to grips with the repertoire. Last 2. The single leg stretch. Last 1, bring both knees in towards you and release back down with the head, neck and shoulders. Okay, so we're going to add on. So we're going into double leg stretch, which again is kind of what it says on the tin. Now you may want to pop your hands behind the head for this one if your head's starting to get a bit grabby. Okay, or remember the alternative is taking your hands above your head into double arm float. All right, so we'll just go through this slowly. First of all, these knees are into the chest, a slight lower back imprint now, guys, because we have both legs lifted and active. So down with that Malteser, squashed and on the mat. And breathing in, exhale, lift your head, neck and shoulders to look towards those knees, shoulder blades back, and go ahead and send both legs out to roughly 45 degrees, okay? Now you can bring your knees in, head, neck and shoulders down. So this is our first version this morning. As you exhale, think of lengthening those legs, reaching long through the toes. Breathe in when you're down the mat. Now you may find that you can keep your head, neck and shoulders up. And when you come back down, you're going to be thinking of, when you come into extension, you're going to add on the arms. Bring those knees into your chest, breathe in, exhale, add on the arms. The head stays elevated for this version. Okay, or you can add on the single arm circle, so the double arm circle. Not doing awfully well, I think it's the week off. And then bring your knees in and you hug your knees to the chest, both arms circling around by your sides if you wish. Last one, and then gently hold those knees and release the head, neck and shoulders back down if it's not down already. One foot on the floor and then the other. Okay, so for all of us, go ahead and pop the hands behind the back of the head. All right, so your shoulder blades are still back and down and belly is in. So first of all, we find that lovely core control or core activation, I should say. Okay, so from here, guys, we're looking to go into our crisscross. You can choose if you want to have your feet down and your knees are glued together, but I want you to get a bit of a squeeze on those knees if you can. Alternatively, pushing down into imprint, go ahead and lift your right leg into tabletop and the left leg. Okay, so you're into your 90-degree knee position. Again, we have our legs elevated, so you're pressing down with that lower back in imprint, so your Malteser is squashed. We're going to breathe in and go ahead to begin with for all of us now, either with a squeeze on the knees together or a push down of the belly onto the mat. Lift your left shoulder blade and roll onto that right shoulder blade and have a look over on the right hand side there. Nice. Roll back down onto both shoulder blades where you breathe in and regroup, and then exhale, lifting your right shoulder blade and onto the left and then back to center. Now, even if you haven't got those feet down and your knees are together, I want you to imagine, okay, that you've got a little brick between your knees, guys, in tabletop. You're keeping those legs nice and center. So I really want you to not rock those knees from side to side, okay? So we're going to try and speed this up slightly now. And we're going to take it into a switch and to center and to switch and to center. Lifting one shoulder blade to center, lift the other and to center. Last two and final one, and bring yourself back to center. Bring your head, neck and shoulders down. If you have your feet on the mat, go ahead and just bring both knees into your chest for a moment. And we're going to bring ourselves into sitting. So this time, bring your nose to your knees, lift your tailbone slightly, bring in a small gentle rock and into sitting. Okay, so we're going for a spine stretch. I'd like you to have both sets of toes up towards the ceiling, about hip width apart, and a nice push through the heel for me. So you've got the back of that leg having a nice stretch. I'm just going to go ahead and turn. All right, so I'd like you to have your hands towards the side. And I want you to just flip those fingertips forwards, okay? So you flipped at the wrist, so you've got your fingertips facing forward, but your arms are still straight by your sides. Grow through the crown of the head. Imagine that lift from those little sit bones under your bottom. You're lifting, almost trying to pinch them together to get a tiny extra lift if you can. From here, we're going to breathe in and do hug the tree, which we worked on a little bit last week. So finding a space in the belly button area. Taking your chin to your throat space, start to bring those fingertips towards each other as if you're giving a huge tree a lovely hug in front of you. And as you drop your head and face through this circle you've created with your fingertips coming together, think about the belly still pulling back and a bit of space at the front of the hips here still, nice and spacious. As you come back into your upright position, hands separate, arms are long, and you can reach the fingertips. Breathing in, flick the fingertips forwards, and away we go. Belly pulling in, lift through those sit bones, a gentle squeeze if you can, nose to knees, and then up, 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 and and restack that spine. Well done. Reach your fingertips wide, broadly across the shoulders. Well done. Lovely breath in. Exhale, fingertips forwards. Still keeping nice and spacious in the front of the belly button area there. Lovely space in the front of the hip flexors. It's the spine that's having that lovely opening towards the back of you. Nose heading to knees. A little bit more this last time. And then bring yourself up, up, up. And you're in sitting position. Wonderful. Okay, so I'm assuming that all your looks like it facing towards that short end of the mat still. I will still to join you. And we're going to go ahead and find the inside of those legs now, okay, as opposed to outside, inside of your ankle area. Now, I'd like you to just take it steady. We're going to take ourselves into open leg rocker. We've done more like a ball preparation on the spine. So first things first, I'd like to find a bit of height and space in the spine, and then gently just draw yourself into a little bit of a C curve, okay? So you've got a belly button in and your body weight is slightly back. Elevate now onto your toes. All right, so the balls and the toes. Let's start off with a gentle lift and extension of a single leg, all righty? So we're going to breathe in, exhale, and just gently extend one leg to the side of you. And switch sides, breathing in and exhale. Now, if you've got tight hamstrings, all right, you might not be able to get that leg straight. You may find that it's a little bit uncomfortable to sit too tall as you straighten the legs. So you can stay as I am now with that belly button pulling to spine, and you can work on the leg straightening and the hamstring stretch. If you can add on, you're going to lift slightly through the crown of the head and almost pull that heart space and belly through those legs as you lift and extend the leg to the side, imagining you're not only growing through the crown of the head, but you're lengthening and shooting energy through that foot as you extend it. You perhaps can add in a double. Okay, when you're ready, breathe in. If you can, go ahead, both legs are extending and reach those legs to your side, breathing in and heart space pressing through the legs. Again, only if that's available for you. Breathing in, choose your level, guys. And we're going to pause with our legs extended, or this last one, and then draw yourself back into your sitting position. Well done. Legs are extended. We won't do the whole full rolling back. Okay, so legs are extended, and now roughly speaking, the width of your mat. Okay, again, I'm going to turn so I can see you can see me. Okay, so you've got your legs out. Again, toes up towards the ceiling, so pressing through the heels, find that little squeeze to the sit bone, arms out wide. Another reach for the arms, please. Nice. Another space reminder of the spine and the vertebrae. Nice. Okay, breathing in, we're going to just rotate towards that left foot. Okay, so just have a look towards the left foot. Left foot, that left. And we're going to now take ourselves into a saw. So your right hand is going to reach towards your little toe on the left. Your left hand is going to reach behind you, looking over your shoulder behind you, perhaps palm facing up, and press through the heels. Bring yourself back to center. I'm going to lift the arms towards the ceiling in between so you get space in the spine. And now left arms crossing towards the right foot, looking over that right shoulder, pressing the palm of the hand behind you up to the ceiling. Come back to center with a grow through the spine and hands towards the ceiling. Two more times on each side. Let's go. Away we go, diving towards that opposite little finger. And if you want to add a little tiny extra pulse, you're more than welcome if you're familiar with that and feel comfortable. Arms high in between, and rotation and flexion forwards, and then bring yourself to center one more time. Grow, grow, grow. Arms to the side, twist and forwards with our lovely flexion. Small bounces if you want to, and bring yourself back to center with a grow. Height through the center, and over we go into saw. Final time on the right side, and draw yourself back and to center. Well done. Bring your legs together. Okay, so we're heading straight onto our tummies now. So rolling onto your tummies, we are going to have our hands in our goal pose position. Yes, so elbows the same height as shoulders, and you're over on your fronts. Okay. Alrighty, so forehead is down. Remove any glasses if you want to. If you have a cushion under your head, or you do like a cushion under your head, try not to put it under the whole of your face. Okay, try and think about putting your forehead is really kind of perched on the edge of a cushion if you're using one. Relax off the lower back for the moment. You're looking at roughly hip width apart with the legs. Okay. And find that work we've been doing on this term. Belly button in and growing through the crown of the head. Nice and long. Shoulder blades are relaxed and down slightly towards your bottom cheeks. When you're ready, breathing in, exhale, forehead lifting. as you exhale, please, and pulling forwards 2. So every time you exhale, belly in, lifting the forehead, pulling that crown of the head forwards, but not by lifting your gaze. You've still got your chin holding onto a small, perhaps satsuma or something along those lines, a tennis ball under your chin. Do not lift your chin, please. Okay, we're adding on arms. You might choose single or doubles. Okay, if you feel like your back's a little bit niggly, you might just want to lift one arm as you forehead float. Perhaps you want to just lift one elbow. Okay, so those are your options. Or perhaps you can take it into double arm lift as your forehead comes up. You can lift both arms, keeping the same pattern, the same shape with these arms if you can. All righty, last 2. And for our final one here, lift, grow, length through the top of the head, crown nice and long, and release back down. Well done. Bring those hands in front of you now, please, so they're just in front of the top of your head. And I'd like you to just interlace the fingers, all right? You're going to bring now your head, neck, and gaze up, and perhaps you might need to slide your elbows in slightly. Shoulder blades are back and down. Now, we're going to go into our single leg kicks. I'd like you to bring both legs slightly closer together. So go ahead and bring them as neighbors together. And shoulder blades are back and down. And just do me a little bit of a press of the elbows into the mat and maybe the hands too. So you feel like your body's slightly pulling forwards. You feel that slight stretch of the torso? Yeah, okay. So it's almost like it's kind of leaving the legs behind, if you like. Think about your belly button and think about your hips for a moment, your hip bones. I want you to keep your hip bones down, but I'd like you to try and bring that belly button slightly off the mat a little bit more, as if it was trying to get away from the mat, just a smidgen. It might not lift much, but just bring it slightly further away if you can. Okay, so we're going to now reach those legs. We've got the upper body nice and strong. I'm going to think about those legs reaching and stretching towards the end of the mat. Okay. Can you slightly hover those feet off the mat? They might be there already, okay? They might be there already, but a slight hover, not a huge hover. It's more just to do with length. And I want you to bring your right heel towards your bottom and just pulse for 2 times and release it back down, breathing in, and bring your left heel. Now, when you and pulse for 2, so you're going to switch left to right, just pulsing the heel towards the bottom, and then every time you let the leg come back down, stretch it even longer, okay? So as the leg comes back down along the mat, reach. Well done. Breathing in and exhaling as you pulse. Okay, so as you're reaching, you're breathing in, exhaling as you pulse. So what are we doing here? Of course, this is our single leg kick. Okay, so we're stretching through the front of the quadriceps. We're stretching over the front of the knee joint. We're getting maybe a little bit of a stretch of the hip flexor. We're breathing in and we're making sure we're nice and safe with the spine being long, the belly button slightly lifted, shoulder blades down, breathing in, exhale 2 pulses, last time, and then release those legs back down. Okay, this is where it gets a smidgen more complicated. So the forehead is going to come onto the mat, but the hands are now going to go behind your back. So clasp one over the other, kind of whichever one's comfortable. And you're going to slide those hands a little bit further up your back towards your low rib cage area and let the elbows relax. Indeed, let the shoulders just come to wherever they want to. All right, now bring those legs together and again find the lengthening of the legs. Okay, so let's focus on the lower body. Reach those legs nice and long. They are together like neighbors, perhaps a little bit closer than they were last time in the single leg kick. And I'd like you to just gently bring those heels in towards your bottom and see how that feels with these legs together. Okay, so knees are still close, feet together. We're going to pulse for 3 times now, guys. So that's 3 pulses of the heel to the bum. 1, 2, 3. Now send the legs out and reach those legs along the mat. At the same time, can you slide your hands down towards your bottom and lift your head, neck, and shoulders, and you're into your elevated dart position. Okay, so you're really thinking shoulder blades back and down, and our glutes are active, legs are long, tummy's in. Now, this time, as you bring your hands up, I would like to lower your head, neck, and shoulders, look towards your side, and the legs should still be long and hovered. Breathe in, exhale, and pulse the heels to your bum for 3 times. Up we go into our lift. So you're sliding your hands down, reaching the legs long, shoulder blades back, and looking slightly up towards the side at the end of your mat. As we come down this time, you look to the other side of your cheek on the mat, slide the hands up, elbows are relaxed, but don't let the legs come down. Breathing in and exhale, pulse for 3. 1, 2, 3, and up into your dart. Lift and shoulder blades back and down. Squeeze the glutes. Down with head, neck and shoulders, arms up, elbows down, and off we go with a pulse. Looking to the other side. Cheek is to the other side, and up we go. And lift and grow long, tummy in, and final time to the side, hands up and head to the side as we pulse for 3 and send those legs away and up, up, up into double leg kick. Well done. Gently release head, neck and shoulders down. Well done. Superb. Okay, roll onto your backs, please, guys. Okay, if you do need a cushion at this point under your lower back, please go ahead and grab one. All righty, so there's just going to be gently easing that cushion underneath your lower spine. Okay. All righty. So from here, we're going to be taking ourselves into our neck pull. This is not an easy piece to do. Okay, so we're going to take it piece by piece. Take your feet and you're going to extend those legs, feet towards the end of the mat so the legs are long. And they're kind of near each other, okay? So you want to feel like there's a bit of connection between the ankles, the knees, okay? A gentle squeeze perhaps, and our hands are going to go behind the back of the head. Now, this is a definite interlace of the fingers, okay? We're going to have our elbows currently out of sight, all righty? So they're going to be by our sides. And we're going to do a slightly different breathing pattern for this particular piece, okay? This is the neck pull. So it is a little bit like it says on the tin. It's not easy. It's not an easy piece at all. But what we're going to start off by doing is just breathing in as we lift our head, neck and shoulders. Okay, this feels a bit weird because this is a breath in to look to the toes. Exhale as you come back down. So try that for me. Breathing in and down. Breathing in just to check out the toenails and down. And last time, breathing in and down. Okay. So we're also going to change this slightly. When we normally do when we often do our crisscross work or elbows, our hands behind the head, we tend to keep the elbows out of the way. This time as we breathe in and look at our toenails, I want you to bring your elbows towards your nose. So they're really almost trying to get towards each other. Breathing in, exhale, bring your elbows together towards the nose, okay? And we've got 2 more. Breathe in, check out the toes. And last time, breathe in, check out the toes. Okay. Now then, pausing here. So the purpose of the breathing pattern is, as you come up, you breathe in. As you get to this lifted position, we're going to exhale and use those elbows to almost pull you forwards. And indeed, they continue towards your knees. Okay. All righty. So we're going to just do that together. When you're ready, all righty, elbows out wide to begin with. Okay, let's go. Breath in, and we bring the elbows forward. Exhale as you bring your elbows towards your knees, just peeling back down. And let's see how we get on with this one. Breathing in, exhale, and release that down. Great stuff, nice. Elbows wide as you come back down. Breathing in. Exhale, and we're going to pause here, guys. So sitting up nice and tall. As you sit up tall, I'd like you to take your elbows out one more time to your peripheral vision, and you're going to remind yourself these toes are pulling towards you, heels pressing away. We need that because we're going to take that we're going to go into a hinge back, and you need that press to the heels almost as your counterbalance, your opposing weight. Sit nice and tall, breathe in, press through the heels, find space in the lower spine. We're going to exhale and hinge as far as you can, and then sit back up with a breath in. Exhale, hinging back. We're just doing one more, and then we're going to pause with a hinge back. Okay, from here now, I'd like you to bring your elbows towards your nose, tuck your chin into your throat space, tilt your pelvis, and now you're going to peel back down onto the mat. Okay, so that completes the neck pull. We're going to try that one more time all together. All righty, so when you're ready, let's start off with a breath in and a lift of the head, neck and shoulders, elbows to your nose. Exhale, come forwards, elbows are trying to get to your kneecaps. Lift now out your head, neck and shoulders so you're nice and tall. Spine is to the ceiling, elbows wide. Breath in Exhale into hinge. And when you get to a maximum range, then bring those elbows to your nose, tuck your chin to your chest, pelvic tilt, and release back down. We'll do that 2 more times, okay? So when you're ready, and breath in, elbows come forwards and elbows to your knees. Sit nice and tall, open out your chest, look forwards with the breath in. Find space in that lower spine and then hinge back. Tucking your chin into your throat space, peel back down and your arms are wide. Breath in as you sit. Elbows come forwards and elbows to knees. Peel up to find that space and open the chest. Breath in, hinging back, and then gently tucking your belly to your throat, belly to your spine, and chin to throat space, and release back down, down, down. Well done, gorgeous. Okay, so from here, guys, we're going to take ourselves into a scissor position. So if you need to lose the cushion, you're more than welcome, or it's totally up to you, or leave it there. All right, so we're going to take our right knee into our chest and extend your right leg towards the sky. Now, you can either hold behind the thigh area if you wish, or the calf muscle. Try not to hold behind the knee because it just basically switches off your hamstring altogether. So trying to hold one or the other. If you need to then bend your other knee onto the mat, please go ahead, all right? But try and still think about this extended leg like a pen in a pen pot. You're pushing it down into the hip socket, and the coccyx, your tailbone, is really making a nice little squishy dent in the mat, yeah? Okay. From here, you're going to lift your head, neck, and shoulders, and say your opposite leg can be bent, or you can go ahead and reach along the mat. Yeah, it's totally up to you. With a breath in, we are now going to switch, okay? So if your leg is bent, you're just going to place the other leg on the mat and draw the other leg towards you, or your leg's extended. So choose which we want to do. Breathe in, exhale, and switch. Breathing in, exhale, and switch. Now we're trying to have the head up if you can, because we're going to hang it onto the leg for half of the piece. It shouldn't be too heavy on the head, but if you do want to pop your head down, you're more than welcome. You're breathing in as you switch those legs, and you're exhaling on the knee as it comes towards you. Reminding you of the low version, of course, is just simply switching one and then the other, or head, neck, and shoulders can be down. These are modifications, okay? Alrighty, well done. We've got 4 more. Reach those legs long, lift the rib cage towards the leg, shoulder blades back and down, collarbone is open. Last 2, last 1, and bring both knees into your chest. For all of us now, roll onto your side. Okay, so we're going to bring ourselves down the middle of the mat, and then just go ahead and bring those legs towards the front edge of the mat for me if you can. We're not going to hang it here too long. We're going to keep on moving. I'm going to think about the rib cage lifting. I'm going to think about my head growing nice and long, my belly in, shoulder blades back and down. Can you do the same? Nice. Pressing the lower leg to the front corner of the mat there, okay? And lifting your top leg to roughly hip height. Just point for me slightly with that toe, unless you're starting to feel awkward with a cramp, all right? I understand, just relax off the foot altogether. Bring the knee into your chest. Okay, from here, we are now going to sweep that leg behind us. So your heel is still close here towards your bottom. Okay, so you've still got a bend at the knee, and hopefully you feel a bit of a hip flexor stretch here. Go ahead and reach that leg now towards the back corner of the room. And at the same time, reach to the top of your head. Feel the whole of the stretch of the whole body. Bring your leg forwards, okay, and then bend the heel towards your bottom, sweeping the leg behind you, and stretch that leg to the back corner of the mat. And reach it long and forwards, knee into your chest with a bent leg, and sweep it behind you. This last time, leave the leg at the back corner of the mat. Imagine I'm pulling that leg a little tiny bit longer. Feel that thigh bone having a bit of a stretch over the hips, out of the hips. Now bring the heel towards your bottom. Bring your knee into your chest. Okay, so we're nice and tucked up still here with the knee angle. And then bring your leg to the front of the room and then sweep the leg behind you. Bring the heel to your bottom, sweep the knee into your chest, leg forward for a stretch, reach behind. And heel to bum, knee into chest, leg extended, and reach that leg behind you. Well done. Okay, bring your leg into the start position, so on the bottom lower leg. If you want to just turn around the other way, you're welcome to roll over and just do this not facing me, or you can just swing round so you're still facing front. Okay, and we're at the other end of the mat. As before, find yourself down the middle of the mat, then pop those legs onto the front corner, press the lower leg down so you know you have arrived, a bit of a foundation there. And then do the same tidy up. Grow through the crown of the head. Slight lift the rib cage or a hello to the ribs and not just stumping down. Nice. Belly's in and legs are long. Gorgeous. Go ahead and lift that leg to hip height. Starting off with knee towards the chest. Okay, so this foot's still nicely tucked up as you send the leg behind you. Pause. Make sure you've just got that pause. All righty, so we've really got the hip flexor stretch, and then add on to the stretch by reaching the leg long. Nice. Okay, draw the leg forwards with a sweep to the front and bend your knee into your chest. Belly in, belly in. Now control as the leg heads behind you and release your leg to the back corner of the mat. Long, long, long. Reach, reach, reach and forwards. And in and sweep behind. And back last time. Find that edge of range. Enjoy it. Okay. And we're pausing all of us with the leg towards the back corner of the mat. Nice. Reaching there. Make sure you're going to reach from all the way through the line of the leg, through the crown of the head, including the torso. Yes, you feel that? Nice. Okay, from here, guys, we're going to bend the leg so your heels up towards your bottom. Now draw your knee into your chest, tummy in, reach the leg forward, sweep the leg behind you and pause. Squeeze the heel towards your bottom, in towards your chest with your knee. Forwards with a reach and extension. And this is our last one. Pull that knee in, tummy button pulling into, reach that leg for control and forwards and so backwards to back corner of the room. And we are pausing here. Nice. Bring that leg back onto the lower leg and we're going to roll onto our backs. Rolling over so heels are up towards your bottoms. We're going to go ahead straight into bridge. So heels are quite close up towards your bottom, please, for me. Check your feet aren't too wide. If you need to, bring them all together. Okay, and then just walk them out about an inch or two. Yeah, so that's the easiest way to just double check when I can't be there to check for you. Shoulder blades are back and down, hands are on the mat. And go ahead and feel the press that you're making with these arms on the mat for me. Okay, just give it some attention. Nice. All right, chin slightly into your throat space. And when you're ready, we're going to go straight up into bridge by peeling. All right, so we're going to go all the way. Let's bring the pubic bone towards your nose. You're starting to lift the bottom cheeks off the mat. You know we sometimes stop at this lower rib point. So find that point, pause, address it, be aware of it, and then draw yourself up rib by rib onto your shoulder blades. Equally here, we pause, we stretch the knees towards the end of the mat. We find that space, we breathe in. Now think about the reverse. Down through the rib cage. The belly's still in. You're still pushing the pubic bone high. And you're trying to press one vertebrae down at a time. And you're into neutral spine. Say hello to the Malteser. Say goodbye to the Malteser as you pull the pubic bone towards you. Squash it flat. And then you go beyond, up through the mid-spine, finding the rib cage. And onto your lower shoulder blades or the shoulder blades if you can. Pause, reach, stretch the kneecaps away. Find the kind of airy weightlessness in the belly there. Thinking about the soles of the feet, taking the weight. Breathe in, exhale now. Let the shoulder blades divide. Let the rib cage release down. Find that little lower rib cage set, pair of ribs, and then release past that through the mid-spine, down through the lumbar spine, and release. Okay. So we're going to do the leg extension work, all right? So I'd like you to come up into bridge. If you're not very comfortable in bridge, you can do leg extension here by doing your point and flex with your bottom down. Yeah, so that is fine if your back is feeling a bit uncomfortable. Otherwise, let's go ahead and just bring ourselves up into bridge one more time. Peeling up, lifting up into bridge here. Use those arms, whether you're up or down, still connection with the arms on the mat. Stretch the kneecaps away. And press into your left sole of the foot, draw your right knee into tabletop, extend your right leg towards the sky. So all of us now have a straight leg to the ceiling. Flex the foot at the ankle, so you're now standing on the ceiling effectively. Pull down with the heel, and then point the toe along the mat and lift the pointed toe to the sky. Flexion at the ankle, so you're pulling down with the heel. We've got two more pointers we lift. And flexion, pull down. And point as we lift. Last one, flexion down and point as we lift. This time we're going to lower in point. So without hanging out here too long, pointing down and then flex at the ankle and lift with a flat foot. Down in point. We've only got 3 more. So see if we can power on through. Last 2, lift and final one. And lift, place that foot back down. We're going to just peel back down again, segmentally releasing down, down, down onto the mat. If you are there already, and be grateful. Okay. And we're going to just regroup to make sure everything feels like it's equal. Your feet haven't meandered out towards the side. Your hips are still in parallel with the shoulders, and your knees are parallel with the hips. When you're ready, peel up again if you can. Just take this moment to articulate the spine into bridge. But when you're there, press the kneecaps away, find the space. And pressing into the right foot now, we're going to lift the left leg into tabletop. Again, use these arms, guys. Left leg towards the sky, flexion at the ankle. Nice, breathing in. Pull down with the heel. Pull that heel away from you, point the toe towards the ceiling. And down, we have 2. And we've got 2 more. Pull down with your flex ankle and lift. And our final one, pulling down. And lift, pointing now and pausing towards the ceiling. Let's regroup. Okay, as a team, we're there. Okay, pointing to the ceiling, down with the point, and flexion up. Down with point, and flexion up. And just 2 more, down with point, and flexion up. And our last one, down with point, and flexion up. Place that foot back down. Bottom now. We're going to head down in a segmental release, unless you're down the mat already, in which case you can just pause and bring your knees into your chest. Everybody now down on the mat, bring your knees into your chest. Okay, so we're going to bring ourselves into sitting one more time. Again, choosing your version with your knees maybe to the side, maybe bringing your nose towards your knees, lifting your tailbone slightly, start your rocking, and then bring yourself up into sitting for spine twist. Okay, so legs are together for spine twist. Okay, so this is our third of the spine stretch series. Your feet are together, your legs are together, and perhaps you get that sense again of the feet slightly elevating. Again, I'm going to go ahead and face front. Okay, so spine twist this morning, we will have our arms in goalpost. Yeah, remember that? We had that from the swan preparation. So let's think about the shoulder blades being down, elbows in alignment with the shoulders, hands over elbows. Okay, so we're going to feel that lovely lift again, almost like you're growing up and away from those sit bones. You're going to breathe in and exhale as you turn to the side for your maximum range. And then switch to the other side of the breath, into the center. Exhale, rotation. And to center. And exhale. And pause, this time center. Okay, so we're going to add on, as we head to the side this time, we're going to extend the arms to the ceiling, all right? So breathing in, exhale to the side, and then lift your arms to the sky, grow, 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 bring your elbows down and come back to center, breathing in, and exhale, and lift, lift, lift. As you pull the elbows down, maybe you can get a tiny extra twist, perhaps see if you can get that extra millimeter slightly, breathing in. Exhale with the goalpost arms, grow the arms to the ceiling with the breath in. Exhale, maybe a little bit more twist available to you, and bring yourself back to center. Gorgeous, releasing the arms and gently forward fold. Give those legs a little bit of a wiggle or a shake. Okay, so from here we're going to take ourselves into lying down. We're going to do a piece that is very much a preparation piece, okay, for the real thing, which is called the jackknife. We will not be doing jackknife this morning. That is a piece that is a little bit more tricky and also with some elevation, so we'll just keep ourselves fairly low level. Hands down by your sides and go ahead and bring your knees into your chest. Okay, so currently, guys, we have our knees in towards the chest, and your heels are just kind of hanging out there below your below the knees, somewhere around the back of the thigh area. Now, on the next exhale, I just want you to simply think about bringing those knees slightly closer into your nose and maybe consider your coccyx or tailbone ever so slightly lifting off the mat, okay? Now, do not hold your breath, okay? I want this to be the big exhale. So breathe in, exhale, as you bring those knees in. Now, it's not going to be a very big move, but I want you to know that you have that ability to obviously lift and your tailbone by contracting the rectus abdominis, the muscles at the front of the tummy here. But sometimes it can get a little bit crunchy, okay? You can get these muscles kind of just pulling in too much. There's not a lot of room. Okay, so I'm just going to get you to pause and hold it there. Can you take your knees away now? So your knees are kind of they're above they're at the first start of a tabletop, so knees are directly over hips, okay? And what I want you to do now is think about breathing in and see if you can just send those knees slightly towards the ceiling as opposed to your nose, okay? So it's not that easy. Breathe in, exhale, And just think about the knees heading a little bit more up as opposed to your nose, okay? So it's an exhale, and it's probably just a tiny little hop. Now, if you're really struggling with this, you're more than welcome to just put one foot down and maybe just have a go at doing the small lift with your foot down for a little bit of support, okay? And it's almost a bit like starting off a little mini bridge, okay? And just lifting and lowering. If you are with your foot down, you might want to just switch to the other side as we do 4 more. Okay, which should look like this. And last 2. And final 1, placing one foot down, and then the other. Okay, we're going to go up 1 level, so choose your level. Bring your knees into your chest. I'd like you to go ahead and extend your legs towards the ceiling. Okay, so both legs are heading up towards the ceiling if you can. Otherwise, do a second set in the previous version. Okay, so again, standing into these arms, we're looking now as our toes are on new knees. We're not looking to swing these toes towards us. We're looking to see if we can think about sending these toes directly above us, above the hips towards the sky. So let's see how we get on with this. Breathing in, we're exhaling, and seeing if you can imagine your tailbone is kind of lifting almost 6 inches, 5 inches off the floor with a huge exhale. Okay, and it won't be a very long, perhaps won't be a very long controlled lift. Maybe you've got that power, and that's great. As you lift and release, and lift and release. Last one, lift and release. Place 1 foot down on the mat and then the other. Gorgeous, well done. Okay, from here in our lying down position, I'd like you to extend your left leg and flex your foot at the ankle. Okay, so you've got your toes up to the sky. All right, arms towards the ceiling now, guys. Now you might just want to send your bent foot, the foot on your bent leg slightly further away from you. Okay, so it's not quite tucked up by your bum, but maybe a little bit more. And we're going to do a repeat of the piece we did last week, which is our teaser preparation. Head slightly back on the mat. There we go. Okay. So from here, we're going to double arm float, guys. As we double arm float, arms overhead, we're going to start to lift our straight leg towards the ceiling. Okay, so you have got your foot in flexion. Now you're going to exhale, pull down with the heel, and as your arms come overhead, we're going to roll up into taft teaser. Ready? So when you're ready, breathing in, exhale, and then peel yourself up and lift your leg towards the ceiling into your half teaser and point and turn your hands up towards the sky and try and grow through the head. Nice. And release down now, flexing at the ankle, palms face down and onto the floor, arms towards the ceiling, double arm float, breathing in. Exhale as your hands come up towards the ceiling and leg comes up towards the ceiling, breathing in, exhale, and peel up into teaser, pointing the toe and palms turning up. Flexing the foot, palms down, releasing back down, roll down, leg on the floor and arms up to the sky. When you're ready, double arm float, breathing in. Exhale, pull your arms overhead, lifting your leg towards your nose, lift and peel high, pointing your toe, palms high, grow, 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 and then release down, 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 foot in flexion, palms down. Well done. Keeping the hands where they are, just switching your left leg into a bent position, right leg is along the mat, flexion at the ankle. Repeating here for 3, double arm float overhead with a breath in. Exhale, hands come overhead, leg lifting, and up we go into single leg. Reach the leg along into a point and turn palms high if you can. Lift the heart space through the arms and then chest, and then down, down, down we go with a breath in. Exhale as you lift. And breathing in, exhaling, releasing back down for our final one. And breath in. As we arm float overhead, exhale, lifting your leg and arms and turn into a point, palm up, row tall, heart space proud, and then release down, 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 down. Nice, well done. Walk your heels back into your bottom, well done. Lifting your knees into your chest, bringing your nose towards your knees or roll your knees to your side. We're going to just draw ourselves into sitting. Popping the hands behind you now, please, for me. Okay, so your hands are facing fingertips away from you for once already, and they're wide. They will need to be wide, okay, because we're heading into our can-can. Roll the shoulder blades back and down and grow through the crown of the head like you're trying to detach this upper body from the pelvis if you could. All right, so maybe walk those toes in slightly. Maybe see how far you get with those legs. If you get to the point where you're walking your legs so far in that you start to have to tilt the pelvis, okay, you've gone too far. So find the lift in the spine and then bring your legs into you without crunching into that curve, making the spine curve. Yeah, does that make sense? Okay, doing one thing at a time is great, works wonders. Right, heels are going to be lifting now. So if you can lift the heels. If that just feels too much for you, keep the heels down. But if you can hover the heels, that's great. If you don't find that calves going to cramp, that's really good news. Now, knees stay roughly speaking together, okay? I want you to think about the pelvis staying really gently, really still, really calm. That's what I look for, really calm, as you take your knees towards the right. Okay, so what I don't want you to do is follow with the pelvis, twist the shoulders, twist the hips. No, that is not what we're doing, okay? You're thinking it's just the knees heading to the side, but you're still looking to the end of the mat. Come back to center, breathing in. Heels up or down with the breath in. Exhale, knees towards the other side, still looking to the end of the mat. Shoulders square to the end of the mat, hips as much as they can as well. As I say, heels can be up or down. You can even head onto your little tiny pointy toes, toe touch if you feel you can, into toe touch and a very light touch there as well. We're going to head into our can, all righty. So we're adding on, we're going to slightly speed up. So let's all regroup to the center. Grow nice and tall through the crown of the head. Let's take the knees towards the right. Go ahead, everyone, to the right. And then to the left. And as we head to the right, this next time, pause. I'd like you to take your left leg now and extend it towards the side, like a little side kick. Yeah. And then we bring the legs together, come back to center, send the legs to the left and to the right and to the left, where we then do our right leg extension. Okay, bring those legs together, come to the center and to the right and to the left and the right and kick. And then together, left and right and left and kick, together, right and left and right and kick, together, left and right and left and kick, together, last time, right, left and right, kick and together. Gorgeous, well done. Taking those legs out straight, just heading into a gentle forward flexion. Okay, so you're just feeling like you've had a bit of a moment to regroup, tucking your knees to your side. Now we're going to bring ourselves into high kneeling. Okay, folks, we're going to pop our hand out towards the left side of the mat now. So your hand is towards the left. If you do need to put a cushion there or a block or something to support you, or you'd rather be on knuckles, you're more than welcome. As the right leg comes out to the side, we're going to pop our right hand just behind the back of the head. We're not going to hang out here long, guys, okay? So if you do feel like you really just don't want to be up in high kneel, please pop down into side lying and you can just lift your single top leg up. Okay, we're going to rattle on through. Reach that leg nice and long, torso nice and strong. Grow through the crown of the head, shoulder blades back and down. Breathe in. Let's go ahead and reach that leg forwards and then to the back of the room. So first of all, find your range. Now we're going to add on the foot flexion. As you come forwards, flex at the ankle and point to the back. Let's go ahead and forwards and back in point. Forwards in flexion and back, forwards in flexion and pausing back. Let's head now forwards in point and flex back and point forward, flex back, point forward, flex back. Last time, point forward, flex back, plopping that leg back down. Okay, now we're going to take ourselves down onto this forearm, so releasing your supporting arm into forearm position and then ease yourself down onto the mat. Legs should be still quite far away from you. All righty. And we'll have our knees together, but I'd like you to split your legs so that your top leg is slightly in front of the bottom leg, okay? Still back up with that top hand by your head, lifting the rib cage, breathing in. If you can, we're going to lift our bottom, okay, and lower. If you would rather leave your bottom down and just lift your top leg, you can, all right? So when you're ready, breathing in, choose to head into our into our side bend prep. Okay, exhale, lift and lower, or just lifting your knee. Or of course, there's the halfway house where you're just lifting the hip and the lower knee stays connected to the floor. But we're trying to work on a bit of progression here, guys. Okay, as you lift, it's our challenge, okay, to think about both knees staying together as you lift. You've got your feet spread for a nice supporting base there. You're growing through the crown of the head, so you're not dumping into that shoulder, or you can just single knee lift. Okay, for this last one. And pause there, gorgeous, well done. Bring yourself back up into high kneel. And we're going to head over with the right hand now towards the right edge of the mat. Right into the mat there, and left leg out is long. Top arm up, square yourself up first, okay? So if you're over here somewhere, think about this, arm over, hand over hand, and popping your hand by the back of the head. Leg is super long, hips are slightly pressing forward. Go ahead and lift that top leg to hip height with a flexion at the ankle. Oh, we're rattling on through forwards with our side kick, going to point, send the leg behind you. Okay, a bit more room to move here as we head forwards and backwards in flexion and back in point. And forwards in flexion, pausing with this leg behind you in point. Let's go ahead now, forwards in point and flexion behind. Trying to have this leg at hip height, but if you do want to just slide it along the floor and to the front of the back of the mat, that is fine. Last time, forwards in point and back in flexion. Well done. Pop that leg onto the mat. We're going to now head down onto the forearm. So again, down onto your elbows, onto your hip, and these legs are just tucked up. Okay, so they're kind of at the end of the mat. Front leg, just pop it on the floor. The lower leg is towards the back. Okay, so you've got a gentle bend, and let's pop at the knees, pop the hand back towards your head. Shoulders away from the earlobes, rib cage lifted. All right, so remember you have your options. You can have that knee lifting. If you don't want to do any work on the shoulder at all, you can start thinking about a gentle bit of work on the shoulder by lifting your hip and your lower knee down. Or we're going to go straight on into the lift of the hips, breathing in when you can. Exhale, press into both feet as you lift, both knees and legs off the mat and hips and back down. Okay, breathing in, exhale as you lift. Okay, if that lift of knees and your hip is too much, please go straight on into modification. Perhaps that lovely lower knee stays down as you lift your hips. Or just as the clam, we lift the top leg only. Okay, so side bend prep and down for 3 more. Lift that rib cage, lift the waist. Last 2 and final 1. Great stuff. Straight onto our tummies for swimming, please, guys. So prone again, which means onto your front for swimming. Forehead is down, where legs are wide to the corners of the mat, as are our arms. Reach through those limbs nice and long. Feel that stretch even on the back of the neck. The belly is in. We're going to breathe in, lift our right arm, left arm, and pause. Reach them nice and long. Check you've got that length. The belly button is in. If you would like to lift your forehead, you're more than welcome to go ahead here. So your neck is long, though we're not looking forwards. Please look down at the mat. Okay, so head up or down. You can leave the head up, or you can just have the head down, breathing in, exhale, and lift the left arm and right leg and reach. Okay, breathe in, exhale, and switch. Breathe in, exhale, and switch. Now try and choose one or the other so you're not bobbing the head up and down in between. It's either up or it's down. So you're going to think about the belly button pulling in, and think about your center is that little pelvic area and the triangle of your pubic bone and hips. And if you can, exhale every time you switch. Breathe in every time you switch. Exhale as you lift your arm and leg. Okay, exhale as you lift. Exhale as you lift. Exhale. Lift and lengthen, lift and lengthen. Last 2, last 1. Everything comes back down. Gorgeous, well done. Bring your hands and just shoulders, legs come together. We're going to push into our 4-point kneeling position. Bring yourself to the front edge of the mat, please, for me, guys. Shoulder blades back and down, knees a little bit closer than hip width. Okay. And your eye line is just a little bit in front of those fingertips. Okay, so we're not back here. Think about bringing your shoulders directly over the hands. Okay, when you're ready, breathe in. I'd like you to just reach your right leg out to the back of the mat so you have a straight right leg, and press through the heel and grow through the crown. Okay, so you're stretching the back of the body, and then bring that leg back in, settle the knee down. Switching sides, your left leg now. Press through the heel, not by moving your upper body, by thinking of the intention of your heel trying to reach the wall, stretching the back of the leg, keeping your eye line in front of the hands, and then switch. So you can do this as your introduction level. This single leg extension, this stretch, it might progress to a reach where you have your toes elevated off the mat and it's a single leg, although you don't quite get that same stretch, of course, at the back of the leg, but perhaps that is your modification. Now, if you are able to, I'd like you to take your right leg out and pause. If you're switching, you can continue switching left to right because we're heading into plank, okay? So be mindful, this might not be for everybody. Go ahead and lifting your left leg, you're into your plank. Both legs are lifted and long, reaching through the heels. Pull those heels back to the back of the mat for me as much as you can, and then use your toes now to propel you forwards, almost like you're going into a pointed toe position, and then pull back with the heels. So forwards and backwards. Okay, you might feel this quite strongly in the wrists. Okay, so if you want to do one or two and then settle the knees back down to the floor for a child's pose, you can. Keep pulling down with the shoulder blades and the armpits. If you want to add on as you head forwards, it's a single straight leg lift in into point. So you just head forwards and lift one leg, squeezing the glute, the leg is long and in point. As you head forwards for two more. And last one. And then you too also knees come back down and release your bottom to your heels for child's pose. Okay, guys, we are going to do one last finishing piece, okay, for the Pilates 34. We're going to go into our push-up position. So bring yourself into 4-point kneeling. Okay, well, I'm not going to hang out here too long. We're just going to do a 4-point kneeling push-up. Eyes in front of the hands, shoulder blades back and down. And I'd like you to think about your eye line staying in front of the hands as you release your elbows to the side. You're just going to try and think of yourself with an imaginary pole, and it's connected at the back of the head. It's connected across the shoulder blades. It's connected across to your tailbone. Alrighty, so as you head down, you're not looking to lift your chin and roll and push the pole off the back of you. You're keeping it connected at all those points. Alrighty, so there's no arching of the back. There's no reaching out with the chin. Looks good, nice. Last two. And this is our final one, guys. Well done. And then 4-point kneeling. Tuck your toes under, walk your hands back towards your knees, and you can either be in a small ball or a crouch. Okay, guys, we've just run slightly over with a couple of blips at the beginning there. Not quite sure what was happening, so just pausing. And we're going to then roll on up. Going to restart the spine. Now you can restart with those knees bent, of course. You're going to think about that spine coming up one vertebrae at a time, and then you're into standing. Finding your center into the middle of the mat. Just gently find the bend of the knees for me, making sure you feel like you're nice and comfortable, all the fluids are flowing around the body correctly, and then come into standing, hands down by your sides. Nice. Okay. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. You can close your eyes if you wish. As you exhale, just allow your belly to spine and a gentle activation of the pelvic floor. All right. As you breathe in, exhale. And one more breath in. Exhale. Open your eyes, and we are done. Well done for that whistle stop through the Pilates 34.